I've watched a lot of the games. Genuinely, I've watched 2 shit games, and they've been the England games.
I don't understand why he's playing certain players in certain positions, because it clearly isn't working.
Welcome back to Lose to Win, the podcast. Myself, Jack, Josh, and Ben. Finally, we've got Josh back. How are you, mate?
Hey. Yeah, good lads. It's good to be back. Good to chat to you guys again in this setting. I know I've spoken to you guys previously, but yeah, no, I've missed it definitely myself. I did listen back to the other pod. I noticed the title,
lad.
by the way.
We were honestly. It took about 45 minutes for Ben just to get on. All of his kind of settings had changed on his work computer to be able to get on it, and all of this trouble. So yeah, we had a real nightmare. So it's really good to have you back, mate. We've certainly been missed, not just for the editing, I promise.
How was Vegas,
it's
mate?
nice though, isn't it? Yeah, it was really good. Just relaxing, really enjoyed it, you know.
Did you lose your shirt, or was it all good?
No, I was good. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah?
No, yeah. I don't have any problems, mate. You know me. I'm well prepared for everything. Anything that can happen. Yeah. So no, I just really enjoyed it. You know, the heat and just getting out and relaxing a little bit, letting loose a little bit with the diet. I must admit. Not the best couple of weeks in the world.
I think, unfortunately, mate, that is the city of sin.
Yeah, sin.
But I did say to Steve and the team as well. I said, look, lads, I'm honest. This is going to be my only holiday all year. I'm gonna use those 2 weeks while I'm in one of the places where everything is accessible 24/7. I'm gonna make use of it.
Yeah, fair man.
You know, you got yourself all the way to last man standing last season as well, didn't you, mate? So you've proven that you're able to do it. So have your time off, enjoy it, and do what we know Josh can do best, and just get back on the horse.
Absolutely.
We'll see what the damage is tomorrow.
I look forward to it.
I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not.
just take it, mate. You'll be fine.
OG coming up. Yes.
Nah, he won't OG.
Yeah,
100% he won't OG.
Mate, I only lost like 0.3, and it was only 1 week of the season, so I'd have to have done a lot to avoid one, to be honest, mate. I'm not going to lie.
It's another podcast derby as well, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yes. Yeah. I'm playing you, aren't we, Jack?
Blues and yellows. Yeah. I'm still just finding my feet with teams. I have to occasionally check back, but I kind of pick like either the captains. I kind of align myself and remember who they're with, or I just kind of pick a main player or danger player for each team. And admittedly, there's like 3 or 4 in each team now. But that's how I tend to kind of piece it together. I'm not known for my memory at all. My memory is absolute dog shit. So I have like those little references, and I do still have the little screenshot of every team on my phone as well, which I occasionally check back on just to see. But yeah,
I'll be honest, lads. I just memorized it.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Yeah,
what I'd say. Yeah,
of course
you probably looked at it until your eyes were red, to be honest, sorting it all out, which is fair. But how do you think it's going, Josh? Obviously, we spoke about me and Ben spoke. Was it last week we spoke about it, didn't we? Ben saying how we thought we were getting on. So how do you think? Obviously, not being here for a couple of weeks, abandoning your team in the first couple of weeks, is it? Yeah, they've done well.
Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal. Ryan was ill last week as well, so we had a stand-in Dan Keats in goal, and although we lost on the pitch,
it's not a bad stand-in.
We'll come to it in a second.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, we rallied to another win.
Very good.
Quite a comfortable one in the end, actually. I was just thrilled. The lads are really on it, and you know they all. I think the difference this time I've noted is that they're all very comfortable doing their own thing and succeeding in doing that so far.
Mm-hmm.
And so very much. I wouldn't say my role, but the role of the team in general is very much a case of if there's a wobble, that's when we kind of get in there and, okay, do we need to add an incentive, or do we want to add this X, Y, Z, or is there something we can help you with? You know, rather than a general, let's set all that on the outset, because I think everyone's kind of, it's a kind of a, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
Absolutely.
They're all doing their thing
like
brilliantly
on their own. They don't
kind
of
well-oiled
machine.
A little different. Yeah, it's a little different than at least I've noted for the last few teams I've been involved in. So not in a bad way, it's just different. So
one less thing for Josh to do, maybe. You get whittle down those number of jobs you get yourself in for.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It takes a while though, doesn't it, to work
but-
out the sort of demographic of the team and how they gel together and how they work together and how they kind of operate. It takes a few weeks, but once you get hit a kind of rhythm, you kind of people fall into place and kind of follow and find their own flow, don't they? So in some teams you find that it works to have lots of different incentives going on. Some teams you have a lot of really busy chat that's like continuous, and other teams you don't. Sometimes it's quiet, but you all come together at the end of the week and everyone's done their job on the scales and they've done their bit and everyone loses weight, and that's fine. So yeah, of course it's horses for courses and every team's different, so it's nice to work that out and get a nice flow going, definitely.
Yeah, I think there's an element of, and I think you guys would probably say the same thing to a point of, well, maybe not the haters, you know each other pretty well, but not disjointedness on the pitch, but you're still finding your feet as well.
Oh
as a
God,
team
yeah,
on the pitch.
yeah, we are definitely.
And so we've had a couple of obviously pitch losses, I think, but our weight's been so good that we've just been beating teams that way, which is how you do it.
Of course.
Yeah. Once we get the pitch sorted, and we've had it up and down. Obviously, I've been away for a couple of weeks. We've had a couple of injuries already. I know, as I mentioned, Ryan was away last week and such. So every week's been different. So
yeah, I think that brings us on quite nicely to the roundup. If you want to dive straight into Steve's words of wisdom.
Yes, well, excuse me. Pitch goals are plenty this last week. With every team finding the net at least once, and 3 of the 4 games turning into goals fest to rival some of the opening matches of the Euros, at least. Once the scales were taken into account, some teams were soaring, like the free-scoring Germans that we're seeing at the moment in the tournament, while others were searching for lost form, like the pedestrian England team, which I'm sure we'll come to.
Yes, we will.
Never a true word spoken.
So the results then were as follows. So your Blues, Jack, won 12-10 against the Purples overall. Us Yellows won 13-7 against the Reds.
Very good.
The Blacks continued to roll on with another high-scoring 16-2 win against the Greens. Wow. And then the Whites, 13-12 against the Oranges.
Yeah, that's close, wasn't it, Crikey?
Yeah, your game then was tight then.
Very.
Didn't know much about it myself, obviously being away. If I'm really honest, I didn't keep up with the pitch scores too much.
Yeah, so, it was a tight game, wasn't it?
We had a good game actually. It was well fought, and I think we just ran out of puff. We didn't have any subs sadly, and we went up. We were 2-1 up at one point, weren't we? I think we were 2-1 up, but came back to 2-2 very quickly, and then we just sort of ran out of steam the last 5 minutes, and sadly got done on the break. So we ended up losing 3-2 on the pitch. Which was a shame, but it was a good game, really good game, really well fought, and I thought it was good spirited play, and I really enjoyed it. But we lost by a goal on the pitch, and then we lost by 1 goal off the pitch as well, which was quite upsetting. It's always upsetting to lose by 1 goal, but hey ho, that's the way it goes, Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
There was a few standout moments. I think Jimmy in goal.
Oh, mate, outstanding!
Unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah. He made like 4 or 5 like top draw saves.
Yeah, he said, didn't he? He said Tuesday night. He said he was gutted Josh wasn't there to do the fancy football because he would have been right up there for
he would have definitely been there.
Bag full of points. I think I hit 2 as hard as I can hit a ball, but dead straight at him. But it's, like I said to him, you still had to stop that. I hit that so hard, he just his reactions, his reflexes were so quick. And there was another moment. I think you were chasing Luke down in a corner, didn't you? And Luke decided to kick the ball out, and almost he did clear the skate park as well for some reason. That was an interesting moment. I think he was going back to his 11-a-side days. Was it? He's in down, get it out. And George turned it on. To be fair, George scored 2 brilliant goals, and if it wasn't for Jimmy, would have scored a couple of more brilliant goals as well. So
definitely.
It was it was an interesting one to say the least, and it was a good game and a good battle, as every game seems to be at the moment. I must say the Blacks look formidable on and off the pitch.
Yeah, they do.
Strong team all over the pitch, and also able to do the business off it. And Craig is leading by example and smashing it as well. So well done, boys. It's certainly a team to. If you haven't noticed the Blacks already, you will do now. If you're listening to this, they are They are an interesting group of fantastic players and really good weight losers. So it's definitely the team to beat. In my early prediction would be definitely the team to beat this season.
Yeah.
Any more worldies from, say, Jogs, for example?
Jogs actually scored both our goals, and they were both pretty epic. One was from about 18 yards, went through a whole bunch of players. And the other one, I think, was pretty decent as well.
That. Yeah. And the thing is,
Jogs doesn't score tap-ins, does he?
No.
It's the same old. You know what he's going to do, but you can't stop it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
He hits the ball so sweetly. It's like...
And a tiny backlift.
Yeah.
I've said this to him so many times. He manages on the spot to get something off that, honestly, and we know what John's like, John will be super proud of, but John winds it up a little bit. You can see it. Jogs just does it off one step. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He eliminates He eliminates one extra step that everyone else has to take.
Yeah,
is what
definitely.
I've noted.
There's so much
one
power
step where
in
you have
those
to put the
calves.
ball in front of you in order to run onto it. He just doesn't need that. He does it off flat footy and just, oh my God.
Yeah. He's also got that crazy over the first kind of 5-6 yard speed like Adam does. And there's got to be something in there that is the strength in those legs of Jogs. He must just the spring and the bounce in those calves, the ability to snapshot a ball like he does so hard, but also gets across the ground so quickly he makes a bad pass look, or a mediocre pass look good, because he's got the ability to save it with either a good touch, and even if he doesn't have a good touch, he's able to get hold of the ball after a tricky touch, or like you say, get onto it. He just all round like unreal, and it's a pleasure to share a pitch with him, not when he's absolutely rifling them at you though.
I only mentioned it because apparently I missed inside his own half goal.
Oh, that was goal of the season contender right there. He literally from the kickoff just touched back to him. He was about 3 or 4 yards into our own half, and he just hammered it top bins. Literally, Mark didn't stand a chance. Went top bins, and it was just like a rocket.
Just kissed the crossbar on the way in.
Yeah, literally the underside of the bar and just hammered in. It was unreal. So I'm not going to lie. It's a privilege to have him on my team.
I'm not surprised.
He's great. I mean, he's a great guy anyway. You know what I mean? He's a lovely bloke, and he's trying to lose a bit of weight, which is the most important thing. But it does help the fact that he can hit the ball as well as he does. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, back to the roundup. Sorry, lads.
Go on.
I guess it's still the roundup.
I thought we'd done it.
No. The 3 100% records, by the way, were all extended. So although us Yellows had to overturn a pitch defeat to overcome the Reds, while Blacks enjoyed a comfortable, as we said, 16-2 win, despite drawing 1-1 on the pitch with the Greens. Blues beat the Purples by a single goal on the pitch and the same margin, as you mentioned, off the pitch. While the Scales win for the Oranges wasn't enough to overturn a 6-3 pitch defeat at the hands of the Whites.
That's unlucky.
Tough one, that one, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is.
We've all been there. So that's what it counts, and it's how the weight counts. All of which, by the way, leaves the Blacks top of the league, as you mentioned, albeit on all 3 leagues, I should say, albeit by goal difference in 2 of them. So Yellows and the Blues sit alongside them in the main and the Scales League, while the Pitch League sees 3 teams, Whites, Blues and Greens, just 1 point behind the Blacks at the top.
Very good.
Fittingly, the leading trio this last week are also the 3 biggest losers on the scales. So with Blacks losing a hefty 6.5 kilos, Blues losing 5.3, and the Yellows 4.2 kilos.
Yeah, very good.
By the way, I should say, us Yellows were the only team to enjoy a clean sweep of losses, 8 out of 8 who weighed in.
Very good. Really good.
So, while the Blues and Oranges were 8 out of 9 and 7 out of 8 respectively. So that's pretty damn good
Excellent
as well.
Work.
Yeah. 3 teams had all but 2 moving in the right direction, with the remaining 2 facing collective gains with several players putting on weight. In each case, their disappointing display cost them main league points that good pitch performances seem to have earned them. So, as we mentioned, shows how important the weight is, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Week 3, by the way, was the first chance of the season to earn hat-tricks, and there were 17 of them, enjoying a perfect start, including 4 each from the high-flying Blacks and Yellows. There's only one milestone this week, and it's Chris Cowan earning his long-awaited and slightly delayed 15%.
Well done.
Yeah, Chris has lost more than 15 kilos since joining the club and seems
Excellent.
to have swiftly rediscovered his mojo after a holiday-induced wobble at the start of the season.
He
We're
is
so
Mr.
impressed with
consistent.
even
Other than the holiday, definitely.
Yeah.
He was an absolute pleasure to have on and off the pitch for Purples.
Yeah,
They all
yeah.
absolutely smash it for Blacks.
Yeah. Chris got his surname spelt correctly for once this time. Sorry, Steve. Sorry, got his surname spelt correctly, which he does acknowledge in the roundup. There are 49 men still in last man standing after 19 were knocked out. 18 of those survivors have grace weeks, and 17 of which would be the hat-trick heroes and Dan Keats, who initially weighed in on week 1 and has lost weight every week, so he counts as well.
Yeah,
fair.
Those 18 have the possibility of scoring a bonus goal next week if they can extend their perfect start. Well, I say next week, tomorrow, I should say.
Yeah.
Everyone else will have to wait until we kind of drop to the 30 survivors for a bonus goal. So,
potential for goals galore
So the
tomorrow,
people that it's only
Yeah.
people that have so people who still have their
Perfect
grace
starts.
week as well.
yes,
No.
perfect starts.
No, it's only perfect starts. So if you, sorry, you're right. Yes. So if they,
Yes.
They have to
where
have
it
a
would
grace
be,
week as
you know,
well.
yeah. So if
Yeah,
they've
yeah,
used the
so-
grace week, they've not had a perfect start.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So you can still be in last man standing, but you won't get a goal because you've used a grace.
You've got it. Yeah.
It's essentially everyone who scored a hat trick this week,
Yeah, fair.
and Dan Keats, who was weighed in week 1,
Yeah,
who
fair enough.
can, if they still lose weight this week, or if they lose weight again this week, they will get an extra bonus goal
Cool.
Yeah.
for being 4 perfect weeks.
Nice.
Although a few hefty gains, individual gains that is, have taken a chunk out of the collective loss this week, bringing it down to 14.1 kilos overall, it was actually a decent week. Lots of players, about 2/3 of those weighing in, lost weight. And while none of those losses reached the spectacular heights of last week's team of the week, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because steady and sustainable losses every time is far better than the boom and bust of swinging wildly from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
With that in mind, by the way, we should mention that Sonny Coe leads the. Where have I put my notes now? Apologies. I'll cut that out. So with that in mind, it's great to see Sonny Coe leading the team of the week and enjoying a seat at the top table for 2nd week in a row.
Good.
Matt Waterman from the All Purples also deserves recognition for 3 consecutive weeks amongst the biggest losers.
Yeah, mate.
So
Wow.
that's
Very good.
pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And they are, by the way, as follows, which Steve accidentally omitted from his report, hence the kerfuffle there. So Sonny Coe leads with 1.7 kilos. Billy Greenwood lost 1.4 kilos. Jamie Crispin, 1.4. Tom Marks lost another 1.3.
Wow.
Your brother Jordan Hayter lost 1.2.
Yeah.
Matt Waterman 1.2 and Eddie White 1.2.
Eddie's still smashing it out as well. Good lad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, boys.
Tight, consistent loss for a team of the week. That one.
Yeah,
no
fantastic.
massive ones and smaller ones. At the extremes of that. So
yeah,
it's really good going overall.
Brilliant. Really
amazing.
As we know, though, the summer is a time of temptation, isn't it? Really, ice creams, barbecues, beery football celebrations,
burgers,
or
beer.
if you're Scottish or English, maybe at the moment, maybe beering footballing commiserations. Sorry to Sean for that one. There's a place for all that, but if you're going to indulge, think about how you balance that out with the rest of your week.
That's right.
It would be a shame to let the last few weeks put a kind of dent in your progress to where you want to reach. Some of our teams are flying, while others need to regroup and find a way to make their scales performances match their pitch ones. So Steve asks it offers, time to be accountable is Steve's term on this one. But we've got this. We know we have.
Yeah.
Defo.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah. Well done.
Just before we move on to anything else, just a few housekeeping bits and pieces. So a reminder that we are congregating on Tuesday at Littledown to watch the absolute dross that will be served up by Southgate and the boys. At Littledown outside, everybody's welcome. I've reserved the space for 20. If we turn up with 30, they're not going to say no. So everyone's welcome. There's no cost involved. And if you're drinking, obviously, please don't drive. And yeah, it'd be great to see as many of us as we can there. One thing I think we missed out on doing at the awards night was taking a big photo of us all together. That's probably the first time we were all together at the same time. So we missed that opportunity. So just try and get as many of us as we can in our England shirts. If at least if those fucking numpties don't turn up, we will. And get a photo of all of us and have a good time. And the other bit, and I know I mentioned it last week, proud to say, people that don't know or might have missed the news, that Chris did successfully defend his title at Selhurst Park against Richard Riakporhe. I would suggest his, and I've seen near enough every fight, his best fight by a country mile, above and beyond what a lot of people expected. He was by far the not the favourite to win. I think at one point I saw him at 5-1.
Wow.
And I know a few people that lumped on at 3 and 4-1. So fair play to them for believing in him and doing what they need to do. But he went out there, absolutely smashed it. And yeah, he's now, sadly, he went out to the football today and enjoyed probably about 15 minutes of it. But yeah, well deserved. And a hometown hero again. And he goes again. The next is Vegas, hopefully, or something as spectacular. So yeah, watch this space. But well done, Chris, all behind you, mate. And you've definitely gained a lot of fans through the MVF Bournemouth community, and you've absolutely smashed it. So a true gentleman by every meaning of the word, and yeah, a very proud group of blokes supporting you here too.
Nice one.
Excellent. So on to the next bit on the agenda. I think we want to talk about, as I referenced there, the Bournemouth MVF Awards. It was a little while ago now, and it's been a little while since we've been able to, the three of us, sit down and have a chat about it. But
we never digested it, did we?
No, not really. No, I think we'll share the sentiment that we were really proud of everybody that got involved, and thankful to everybody that supported it in terms of buying a ticket, buying raffle tickets, coming along, donating something, aren't begging, stealing, borrowing for a prize for the raffle as well. And it was a super proud moment, not for myself, but as a collective. I think we all should be super proud of what we were able to achieve in terms of what we raised, and also had a fair good knees up as well. I'm sure you'd agree, Ben.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And my wife also said it was very interesting to hear what she said, and I know it was reciprocated from a lot of the wags. Was that it was an eye opener for them, because they didn't fully appreciate or understand what it does for us, and how much it means to us. Because obviously we go home on a Friday night and we're all on our phones texting the group or texting each other, or checking the scores and seeing when the scores come in, and then it's brilliant if we have won, or well, don't worry lads, we go again if we've lost. And I don't think they kind of fully appreciate how much and what it's done for a lot of us. And I think that was a really nice thing to have them involved, so they could fully kind of appreciate. I mean, don't get me wrong, my wife knows how good it's been for me, because she's experienced it from home, and I'm sure everyone else is the same. But to see us all in a room together, you know, things that were being said and the awards that were going out and what it means to everybody was obviously quite an eye opener. So that was really lovely to see, and I'm really, really glad that so many partners, wives, girlfriends, etc., came along to watch, because I think that was brilliant. So thank you to everybody who did bring them along and felt comfortable in doing that, because I know can be a bit. I'm sure there are plenty of wives and girls who said, "Are you joking? You want me to come to an all lads football awards?" Make a question that, but I'm sure they were glad that they did come, and everyone had a great time. So yeah, brilliant, loved it. Thought it was a great job.
What about you, Josh?
Oh yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. If that's what you're asking,
you had a little surprise, didn't you, mate?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yes, you did that pretty well, keeping it in your hat. I was convinced, absolutely convinced, because the way I have to admit, it was really, really nice, and I loved it, but I was a bit kind of taken aback, because I was convinced that Steve, when he said to me, "You know the rules, Josh, you can't win it," when I was just teasing about him, because I was like, "I've had a good season, Steve, what are you doing to me?" You know. And when he said, I was like, you know my rules, and I was like, okay, fine. And I was a little disappointed, because I was sitting there going, it's a shame, because I feel like I've done pretty well, you know, and I'd like to win it. So I was thrilled, lads.
He didn't tell us,
by the way. So one of the three clubmen, I should say. I'm not the sole winner of that. So
Yeah.
He didn't tell us till we were setting up, so we didn't know until the day.
Yeah.
But it was lovely to watch your face, because obviously we knew, and when he was doing it, I was just watching you, and you were just nonchalantly just sort of standing there going, "Oh, he's giving another one. Is he? It's not going to be me. It can't be me." So why did he give? It was almost like I could see your inner monologue going, "Oh, brilliant. So he's giving 3 away this year. Well, that ain't going to be me." And then bang, there it was you, and your face was a picture. And it was a lovely reaction from everybody in the room as well, because so well deserved, and everybody clearly appreciates what you do for the club. And so, yeah, thoroughly deserved, mate, and a lovely moment. And I think we've got it on video, to be fair. I'm fairly sure.
We do,
I have it, I have it.
Yeah. And I appreciate it for everyone, by the way, in the community. It's a huge thank you, mainly to everyone else, really, rather than myself, because I know it sounds
That's
silly,
typical
but
Josh, isn't it?
Yeah. No, but I
mate,
honestly
take it.
it's everyone else in the group that makes me want to put the effort in, if that makes sense. I care about everyone in the group, and I really love spending my time with everyone in the group, and I love the community. I love what the MVF is about, and obviously if you enjoy something, you're going to commit to it, aren't you? So
of course.
Yeah, and so that's a credit to everyone else, and a big thank you.
Well, thoroughly deserved, buddy. Yeah, thoroughly deserved. Well said.
Lovely
moment.
But I wasn't the only winner of any kind of award, by the way, we should say.
No,
we did do some of our jokey, some of them weren't quite so jokey, awards. I'm not sure we actually ran through them at all at any point, did we?
I don't think we did, actually, officially, to the people that weren't there. I mean, we can do that. Have we got them?
Yeah, I mean, I've got them listed. So.
You've got them there.
There we go. Well done, Josh. Yeah.
I did. Incidentally, when we get there, I'll say something about one of them, because it was quite funny. Go on, you go through them.
Well, the club MVPs, I'll rattle through these. So this was selected by the members of each team.
Yeah.
So the team MVPs in a vote. So the Blacks went for Connor Skerman.
Yeah.
Our team MVP.
Well done, mate.
The Blues went for Ollie Wentworth.
Yep.
The Oranges at the time went for Mike Burt.
Lovely.
The Yellows went for Dimmy. I mean, who else?
Super Dim. Yeah.
The Whites went for Barnaby for the second year running.
2 years in a row. Fair play, mate.
Yeah. The Purples went for Chris Cowan.
Yes.
Super
Chris.
Went for the Greens went for Dave Durnley.
Wow.
And the Reds went for Tom Marks.
Yeah, outstanding.
Absolutely worthy winners.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then we went through some of our awards. So we did Duracell Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
So was it essentially the relentlessness of a particular player? And our winner of that was Sid Wolford. Although we had some honourable mentions for people like Robbo.
Yeah.
He's up there as well for that one. Our Prima Donna Award for what we're going to say, the person who makes the meal of most things or moans the most. I don't know.
Just
if that's
most precious.
Yeah.
We went for Ruben Fernandez on that one.
Yes.
And this is the one I need to talk about.
Thrilled.
This is one because his lovely wife pulled me afterwards and said, absolutely, you know him so well. She was like, that is so apt and the best award you could possibly give him, because that is him to a T. And I was just wetting myself. It was brilliant.
He took it well.
He really did. Yeah, he really did. Yeah. Very fun.
And like I said, when we were doing the award for it as well, he'd literally that week before I'd seen him nearly come to blows with Mark over his brother-in-law over something, obviously playing against each other. And that was it's just Ruben all over, and we love him for it. He's our Madonna, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The next was the David Beckham Award for best hair. Nothing other David Beckham related, like best free kick or anything. But that went to Tom Marks and his mullet.
His mullet, which is now shaved off, incidentally.
Yes, I did actually. I've only just the award. That. Yes, I did only just notice that because we saw him yesterday.
Yeah,
I just realised.
I think it was off the. I think it was off the bat of winning that. He was so mortified that he had it cut off. No, I'm joking. I genuinely think he had meant to cut it off, but
he said, I think after receiving it, he said it's going next week anyway. Yeah, he was like, no.
It's a shame, but it was a deserved winner for the time.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, the Katie Price Award is next.
Yeah.
I I don't know how, but this man's for going down the easiest. As you put it.
Good old Katie.
So that went to Rob Hodge.
Yeah.
Not necessarily of his own doing, but he does tend to be on the floor quite a lot.
Yeah. He's back tonight playing, I think. First time in a while.
Yeah.
Good.
He's on the list.
His name on the list. Yeah.
Good lad.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Then we've got goal of the season. So these are slightly
Proper
more
ones.
less jokey ones. So James Scott won goal of the season.
Yeah.
I think we basically said we couldn't give it to John again. But to be fair, it was a deserved winner.
No, you said it was a shinner. And
you called it a shinner.
Oh no, that was John. I was talking about John.
Yeah, that's what
James's.
I mean. Sorry, yeah. You wouldn't let John have it because it is shin.
Rolled off his shin, mate. Gareth agrees. If I could name check him, he'll love me for that. But
throwing him under the bus.
We were both there.
Yeah,
Bob the Builder.
So, but he does score some worldies though as well. So
he does.
Yeah.
Anyway, newcomer award.
Yeah.
Went to your brother Luke Hayter.
Yeah.
I don't think it would go to anyone else really. Smashed it, got into maintenance in one season, didn't he? So
yeah,
amazing work there. The John Terry Award for the sharpened elbows and various other things that come with it.
Cast iron
Neil
shins.
Puttick. Yeah, exactly. Neil Puttick. Honestly, I've never had a challenge with him and felt like I've come better out of it.
No.
I just never. He puts on a brave face if he does it though. So
Ryan said he turned to his dad and said it'd be funny if it was you. When I'd said, obviously, from what we're aware, he's not sleeping with his and it was teammates at the half. Ryan said he turned to him and said, "Would it be funny if it was you?" And it fucking was. Ryan was pissing himself laughing. Yeah, but the perfect award, and he means anybody that's taken a kick from Neil, I will promise my life on it. He does not mean it. He's
absolutely.
He's a gentle rock, isn't he? I think it's probably the easiest way of saying it. He's never intending to do it, and the passion on him is just insane. So it's very, very good.
Very well deserved.
Yeah.
The utility player was next. That went
Bob
to
the Builder,
Gareth. Gareth Hemsby, not Gareth Southgate, we should say. Just to make that clear. Yeah. The most improved went to Tom Dowling.
Yes.
Traveling at the moment.
He is. He's in Canada.
He's,
Canada. Off
thoroughly well deserved on that one. Yeah.
A month and a bit, I think.
Fair play. That'll go.
Play some golf with us, Ben.
Yep.
We're waiting.
Yeah, waiting for him to come back with his voucher.
Taking it with him.
Yeah.
It'd have expired by then.
Yeah.
Then we had, I will put these in here. So Steve's Clubman, which is the Man v Fat award. Steve gives them out. So it's his choice essentially of almost like our player's player or player of the year, season or year, but for as an overall for the club. So not just on the pitch, for example. So those went to Dimmy and also to Ravnath as well.
Brilliant. Two very deserving.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Clubman. And well done to Rav and Eddie for their recent walk, run, jog for cancer. Race for Life.
Absolutely.
Amazing work, guys. And you should be super proud of yourself.
Oh, yeah. I think we should try. I mean, we said this yesterday, didn't we? It'd be quite good to get some of the group together. As long as we got long enough in advance to prepare as such for these things and really give it a kind of a Man v Fat Bournemouth go.
Yes.
As a group.
We'll wear our kits.
Yeah.
That'd be a laugh.
Yeah. Be a good one. So something to look out for potentially.
Yeah.
We'll do a bit of research. As for the last one, our player's player. So this was voted for by the community. From 5 excellent shortlisted players.
Yeah, all deserving.
Previously. Yeah. And that went to Super Ollie Wentworth.
Yeah, certainly did. Yeah.
3 or even more seasons of absolute unbelievable weight loss and just everything really, absolutely everything to do with the league. So I think he said to me the other day he's pretty close to where he wants to be, or he is basically where he wants to be. So
pretty much.
For him, I'm just thrilled. You know, he's got to that or very close to where he wants to be, and it's hard work paid off, isn't it?
Definitely.
Tell the relief as well. I can see it even for 1 week when I've been here for this season. yeah. So
yeah, I mean, he's just
amazing.
absolutely he's just. I mean, I've spoken wax lyrical about him before anyway, because he's a mate of mine, and he came and joined our team, and I've been with him for the last 4 seasons. So he has totally embraced it, every single aspect of it, and he's there every week for the whole time. He encourages everybody, he chats to everybody, he helps other people, and he's always good value. You know what I mean? He's never loses his rag. He's never grumpy. He's always got a smile on his face, and that's what you need. That's the sort of person you need. And he's captain now this season, and he's smashing it again. So, I can't speak highly enough of the guy. So, I think it was thoroughly deserved, and top man all round. So, super Ollie, well done, mate. Fantastic work.
Love it.
Long may it continue.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That brings us on then, lads, to the Man v Fat National Awards.
Our little trip to Manchester,
which we went up to. We were where we graciously accepted a nomination for
absolutely
the Media Mogul Award relating to this podcast, and we're thrilled, and that's thanks very much to everyone in the community for nominating us and getting us as far as there in the first place, because as we've said on a million occasions, there's stiff competition. There's a lot of people across the whole country doing brilliant things, so to be there in the first place is an honour. So but we thoroughly enjoyed it, didn't we, lads? It was a good night.
Yes, it was an eye-opener, I guess, much the same as it is for the WAGs, as you referenced earlier, Ben. I know that we know it's a national thing, but when you hear some of the places and how far those places are away from our little club down on the south coast, it gives you an idea of how important this is, not just to people like us in Bournemouth, but it's everywhere across this country. And again, just proves what a brilliant thing it is for the people. And you see some of you see and hear some of the stories about the amazing losers and the people that did win awards and the people that are nominated for awards.
It's crazy,
just inspirational, and just a great thing to be around. A long way from home. So Richard, I know that you occasionally listen, so maybe a little bit closer to Bournemouth one day. One time.
Yeah, we did pitch that. They'd be welcome to come and hold it down here, wouldn't they?
Do it at the Vitality or something. That'd be ideal. That being said, it was also an experience, and we had a nice couple of days as well, didn't we?
We did. Yeah. Nice
went to visit the Theatre of Dreams and
gave it our best.
God.
Yeah.
Well, you bastards. I had to leave.
You left us, mate.
These guys knew, didn't you? You just knew. I had to leave to fly off to my holiday, and you bastards go to fucking Old Trafford the morning after.
We chucked it in the sat nav, and it was literally like 6 minutes down the road, wasn't it, Ben? I was like, we're this close, you can't come. You can't come this far.
I realised it was close, but by the time I got there on the Saturday for the awards, I didn't have time to go and visit the stadium, really.
No.
And that's one of my regrets when I was there. I mean, I have been several occasions before, but it's falling down. Anyway.
Well, we gave it your regards, mate. Thanks for having us. It was good to be in you, Manchester, briefly.
Yeah, but it was good, wasn't it? The awards were good.
So. Absolutely, and we did pick up some interviews along the way, which we've teased, and we will play them out in the end of this podcast. But just to go through them, we obviously, the main man himself, Razor Ruddock, had a lot to drink and also a lot to say, and he was very good value and was more than happy to sit and chat to us. Although off recording, he did say that's £200, didn't he, as he was walking away. So that's probably how much he normally gets for that sort of thing. So I don't think we'll ever get him on here anytime soon.
Is he on Cameo? I'm sure he's on Cameo.
Oh, I'm sure he probably is. He does anything.
So that's probably gets paid his Cameo charges.
Who else did we get, Ben?
We got Andrew Jenkins of the Traitors fame. He was a finalist, and he was there. Amazing story, actually. He does. When you listen to the interview at the end of the pod, he speaks very, very quickly because he's got a lot to say in a very short space of time. And he used the Traitors for as a kind of vehicle to promote mental health, because he's been through a life change. I don't know if any of you know the Traitors. It's well worth looking him up and looking at his story, because he was basically pronounced dead at the side of a road after a really near fatal traffic accident, and was told he would never walk again, etc. But he fought back, and he uses his story and how he has struggled with mental health to help promote positive mental health in other people. And he, amazing speaker. And I felt a bit bad for him, to be honest. If I'm being completely honest, he normally does like a 45-minute set, and he had to cram it all into 15 minutes. And I think it's a story that should be given its time. And I think they realised that afterwards. I think they realised that it was something that everyone, because you could have heard a pin drop when he was telling his story in the room.
We were glued to him, weren't we?
Yeah, and I think everybody resonate. There was something that resonated with everybody in the room about that, and I think it would have been nice for him to have a bit more time. But anyway, he managed to fit it all in, and he was very inspirational and lovely guy. So they were the two main people. We got Rich Crick popped up and said, "Go on, sorry, mate."
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say quickly on, and this isn't giving away too much, but and he mentioned a couple of times as well, didn't he? And I think he mentioned his interview about how he comes from a line of people who don't talk about their feelings or their life, and very much in that stoic nature. And that was quite in itself as a big contrast to what he's been through and what he's trying to do now in his life and move forward his cause, his calling, as such as he calls it at the moment. So the dichotomy of that was quite an interesting thing. So
another thing as well is that he had a promising rugby career, didn't he? Professional rugby career.
Could have been a Welsh national, couldn't he?
Yeah, and I think his son has played, or is it has done a full international cap for Wales. So that obviously the accident he had and how horrific that was has clearly put a stop to his ability to do that too. So he spoke about grief and explained how grief isn't just when a family member passes or a pet passes or anything like that. And I know this is something that the 23 MPH boys have spoken about, obviously Jimmy, Russ and Connor, that spoken about grief at quite some length. And it's not just when somebody passes, it's a loss of something, and for him a loss of a dream, a loss of a career. And you think of how much time and effort his life was dedicated to becoming a professional in that field, and it was in that moment snatched away from him. It is the same as losing somebody, I would suggest, and how definitely he has to deal with it. So if you listen to the interview at the end, Josh will put these in the order that we're kind of introducing them, so everybody can keep track of who we're speaking to. But what I would suggest doing is having a bit of a YouTube about him and what he does and the amazing things and how well he speaks. Somebody that had been through that sort of thing, like Ben said, somebody that was pronounced dead on the side of the road, to now being able to use that for good. And a lot of people are fame hungry and would go for the Traitors, and the type of he mentioned that he was picked out when asked to go on the Traitors.
He was recruited, wasn't he? Yeah.
And as I'm sure that they will go for people with an Instagram following or something about them that will have some sort of sellability that they were able to use. But with him, I genuinely believe what he said around wanting to do good off the back of it and use it as a platform to do good things. Yes, he's going to get paid along the way, but of course he needs to be. And if he can do what he's doing and do it as well as he's doing, fair play. And he's truly inspirational. So I know we've gone on a little bit extra with this, but it ties so much into what we want to promote as the Dorset Health stuff, and the like Jimmy and the boys are doing with the video stuff as well. It's all about that mindset, and it's so intrinsically linked, isn't it, to weight loss and weight gain and everything else. It's so important to everyone. So take a moment, have a look at it. I'll share a link to something for it in the group and on the Facebook as well.
Yeah, definitely. So on the Man v Fat front, we spoke to Rich, who we've interviewed on here, Richard Crick, who's the CEO, isn't he, chief exec? It was nice to have a catch up with him. We also spoke to Stu, of course, Stu, who, as some of the OGs from Bournemouth will know, Stu came down to set up our league, and he's promised to come on and give us a little interview and give us some, like we mentioned last week, some dirty details, some of the stuff that went off.
Didn't he?
He did, behind the the kind of MVF closed doors around the forming of the Bournemouth League and the problems that we had early days. Give us some insight into how it was rescued, because we do believe at one point it may have folded, which would have been an absolute travesty, and I certainly wouldn't be where I am now if that had been the case. I know a lot of us wouldn't be, and it wouldn't be as thriving as it is now without what he's done. So I think that will be a real interesting one when we get a chance to talk to him about that. So that'll be a good one. Who else we get, Dane?
We also had some winners, didn't we?
We did. So, Jackie, you managed to corner the Yeovil boys, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Spoke to the Yeovil boys, who won the Community Club of the Year. A club, an award which I agree with them in many ways is probably one of the most prestigious ones to get, and one that means a lot to more than just the people that have won it and what they've done. So they raised £6,000 for charity. We're going to get the guys. We're going to get Aaron on from Yeovil on here, and we also we're silly. We're kind of like, they're right on our doorstep. They're only an hour down the road. We need to do more with them, support them, and get involved. And they'll certainly show us their ways of being able to fundraise and do things amazingly well as they've done. And I'd love to get involved with some of the stuff they do too. So definitely, absolutely buzzing to get him on.
Lovely bunch of lads.
Brilliant bunch of lads. And a lot of us that have played 11s would have played them. I think we played them once. We also did a 24-hour football thing with them as well. I think Deck, Ryan Broadbank, a few others did. Yeah. And a few of them played for us for Weymouth as well, because Kev runs Weymouth too. So without realising, a lot of them we've crossed paths with already.
Yeah.
And then who did you have? We had
Damon.
A lovely couple on the table, didn't we? Damon
so Damon and Kerry. They're a coach and assistant coach partnership, and they are actually partners. And so Damon won the regional coach of the year, and then he won the national coach of the year as well. And Kerry was up for an award as assistant coach. She unfortunately didn't win that, but he did win both. So, and he was kind of blown away by it. And he's got quite an incredible story, I think, and that we're going to get him on this to dive deeper into that. But he's got quite an incredible story. I think he's lost an absolute shed load of weight, like stupid amounts. But also struggled on the sort of mental health front as well. So I think that'll be a real interesting one. But he was a lovely guy. They were on our table, weren't they? So it was nice to share the evening with those guys.
I suggest he was probably best dressed as well. Snazzy.
I think he was.
Snazzy jacket he had on it. Yeah. Very nice.
Put us to shame, didn't he?
Yeah, right. Well, with 3 pieces in, we still look smart. That's the amount.
We look good, mate. We look really good.
I think we did. I think we look pretty.
We're poster boys. Poster boys for it.
We are, mate. Yeah, front and centre on the MVF image of the awards. Like, there's us 3.
Nobody's considered that's a Richard going. Oh, commiserations, lads. Thanks for coming.
Here's a picture on the emails.
Possibly. You never know.
It's because we were enjoying ourselves. That's what I think. We were laughing our heads off at Russell being completely inappropriate.
I mean, I don't know if you guys can remember any of the headlines, but we did hear of some people losing over 100 kilos.
Oh, madness!
And headline numbers like that, didn't we? I think at some point.
There was a guy who hit his 50%, hadn't he? And he'd lost over 100 kilos. That was the guy that did the video. He was on.
Yeah,
the video.
You're right. Yeah, he couldn't make it.
I think what was most astonishing about that was, didn't he say it was like since January? I was like,
it was in a short period. No, it wasn't that short period. I think it was like, I don't think it was that. No, because that would have been only like 6 months. Yeah. I don't think it was that. I might be wrong, but I don't think that.
Another person we'll seek to get on this pod. Somebody that's worth a conversation with, and I know he's active in groups and stuff. I've definitely seen him about.
Yeah.
I just thought it was worth maybe saying that, some of the numbers and some of the things they came up with, it was
some of the journeys, that people have been on. It's really quite inspiring to know that we're kind of consumed in our own little world down here of and we're all very close, and we're all very positive and helpful towards each other. But knowing that there are thousands of other guys out there experiencing the same thing and benefiting from what MVF does is really quite inspirational. And the fact that they're taking it to America, I think, is quite an eye opener, and the fact that they're expanding it to the rugby, I think, will be interesting. So it's good. It's all going in the right direction, and I think it's taken a bit of time because they've been going for it was their 10-year anniversary, wasn't it? It's MVF 10-year anniversary. So And they started with one club in Solihull, wasn't it? I think it was their first one. And to see where it is now, and they're definitely trying hard to try and grow the business and grow the sort of awareness of what it is and what we do. And the more we can do, the greater it can become and the more people it can help. So I think one thing certainly that we noticed was from the nominations point of view, it was a lot of the categories were dominated by one or two or three clubs. And we said, kind of, how does this work? How do people get nominated? And Rich was like, the only way really we can take note of anyone is by their clubs nominating them. So we were like, okay, well, we need to get our guys locally to nominate people. If people are making a difference to you personally or as a group, nominate them. But don't just say, oh, they're a really great guy. Really, like, get some stuff down on paper and say why do people deserve to be nominated? What have they done specifically that's helped you or the club, or what do they do for the club? And really go into detail, because then they get a bigger picture about who's doing what in the communities and how they're helping people, because there's so many people down here are doing fantastic things, but it doesn't really get spoken about. It kind of goes under the radar sometimes. And I know,
and even the ones we do speak about, people like Steve, sorry to jump in, but every time we speak to somebody or somebody's done amazing work, so but Ollie's a prime example. He will say he couldn't do it without Steve. Steve is that type of person that we need to get behind and put some nominations in for and support and do it together. We work it out, because these people deserve the limelight and the recognition, even if they're nominated. But at the same time, they also need to know that other people around them, that the people that they represent, especially coaches, that effectively they are working for MVF. We have to remember at the same time, people need to know how good Steve is. A lot of people meet him and realise, but get behind your boys, get behind them, and really, and if you're from another club, do exactly the same thing. Get behind people that you feel have inspired you, have helped you, have changed you. Really.
And that goes for all clubs. Not just ours. I think it's just something that we picked up on, wasn't it? That because there's like 300 clubs or something, more than that now. But there were probably only, I would say, a dozen clubs represented at the awards itself. When there's that many clubs out there, you wonder why. And it's basically just because the clubs aren't nominating their people, and it's not difficult to do. You get an email to say, if you've got anyone in your club or you've done anything, or you know of anyone, then let us know so we can spread the love. And I think it's worth doing it. And I think because I think it builds the community further, and people should get recognition for the good work that they're doing. So next time they come around, lads, the only reason we were voted is because you guys stepped up and voted for us. So we really, really appreciated that, and it was an amazing experience to go up to the awards. But we want you guys to experience that as well. So make sure you reply to those emails. Make sure you get those nominations in for all these people that are doing such fantastic work, because there's some amazing stories up there. So go and tell your own story. Go and put the people in the limelight and give them a chance. Because it'd be brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there anything we've missed on that?
I don't think so. We've thoroughly covered it, and as we said, there's interviews to come at the end of the pod, so just listen out for the end.
Stick with it, because they're worth listening to.
Don't listen to razors in front of kids, please.
No.
Yes,
There is parental advice. You think I swear? Parental advisory for razors interview for sure.
Yeah, you could bleep it, of course, if you want to.
No, don't worry about it.
Wouldn't be much of an interview left.
This is your trigger warning. In about 15 minutes time, you're likely to hear Razor be rude.
Anyway, I think in the last time that we do have, should we move on to some only football that we're watching at the moment?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Do we have to?
Yeah.
Yes, it's important.
Let's just. We should quickly just skim over the Euros really quickly as a whole.
Go on.
Are we enjoying it so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think I've watched a lot of the games. Obviously, the 2:00 ones are difficult to do, but I try to watch the 5 and the 8 ones. And genuinely, I've watched 2 shit games, and they've been the England games. I've got the Spain game on in the background here. The first thing I noticed is that pitch is a million times better than the pitch we've just played on.
What was that all about?
Yeah.
But I'm not giving any excuses, because as I've always said, if it's a shit pitch, shit football, whatever, both teams are the same. You got to piss with the dick you've got, haven't you? Yeah. But that's a big thing. every 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 pitch I've seen has been immaculate, bar England's tonight. But in general, every game's been exciting as well. Like even
They've been great
there was
games.
what was it, Slovenia and Slovakia, Serbia and Slovakia.
Serbia.
Or whatever it was.
Slovenia today.
I'll get there eventually. That one last minute goal, but the whole game was
gutting.
end to. It's like a basketball match, end to end entertainment. The tiki taka is dying out of the game, like the keeping the ball in your own half kind of crap that we seem to try and do. I'm watching Spain here now, and Craig's just put in a group as well. Amazing watching Spain and how they keep the ball.
Yeah,
I don't think I remember seeing England put in 5 passes together consecutively.
Only backwards.
Yeah,
it's more
Trent Alexander-Arnold going backwards.
Yeah, it's more just the urgency with which is played, the pace.
Yeah.
I'm watching like even just Italy here, who have surrendered chunks of possession, but every time they make a pass, it seems to be forward or incisive at least, or it has some zip to it. So even if it's passed along the back, they're doing it quickly. It's like one touch past the centre back, one touch past the right back, to get it across quickly. It's not, as an intentional, not just to keep it away from the opposition.
Yeah, score and keep the ball away from them.
And the Spain, the masters at this. So to be fair, I'm not saying that English have matched Spain in
they're in here. They're in. Oh.
Yeah. So, anyway, so we should probably move on to England quickly.
Ben, you start, Ben. You're the right. I think you've earned your stripes.
2 games in, right? Let's just say straight away.
No, don't temper
it. 2 games in. No.
Josh is doing Josh things. Let the man speak.
Okay. Right. So I said a few weeks ago that the group stages were going to be difficult because our opposing teams will set up in such a way to kind of cancel us out, and it would be difficult for us. And so far it has been. However, we have played awful football, and I'm like anybody else. And Neil mentioned it in the group earlier. You don't mind losing or drawing if the lads are putting in 100% and they're playing quite well, but the other team is playing better than you. I don't believe either of our oppositions have been better than us. I think Denmark played quite well today, but I think that was overshadowed by the fact that England were absolutely atrocious. And the first game is always hard, and I think they did well to come through it. But again, I think England played really poorly. And I think there's many reasons for this, but most primarily, and I think it's blaringly obvious to most of us, and I don't really understand what's going on because I've always been an advocate and I've always defended Southgate in the past. I don't understand why he's playing certain players in certain positions because it clearly isn't working. Now, I'll give him his credit because on 56 minutes tonight, he did change it and he took Trent Alexander off and brought Gallagher on. But that clearly isn't working. It didn't work in the first game. It hasn't worked in this game. The same with Foden out on the left. And again, I spoke about this weeks ago. I've always struggled with why he puts him there because he can't play there. He doesn't play there. And he said before, Southgate said before, he took how the coaches played him in a week in, week out basis, and Foden never played through the middle. That's utter bollocks because this season Foden has played primarily, not always, but primarily through the middle, and he was the Premier League player of the season playing in that position. So why on God's clean earth does he not put him there? As soon as he stepped into that place tonight, he did something. He went through the middle. He had a shot. He did it a couple of times. It was blaringly obvious that is where he needs to play. Bellingham was anonymous tonight, and that's not his fault because there's too much pressure on him. For me, he's a young player. We've said before there's too much pressure on him. He was completely anonymous tonight, as was Trent. And he should have pulled him. When he made those 3 substitutions. Bellingham should have come off and Foden should have moved into the middle. That would have made a massive difference. It was great that he brought Bowen and Eze on and put them out there, but they didn't get long enough. They had 20 minutes for Christ's sake, and they couldn't change anything at that point. Excuse me. Let me catch my breath. Again, I'm used to watching England and I'm used to them being dross, but this really does hark back to the time when we had the likes of Beckham, Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, Rooney, all these top players. And again, in that instance, they played Scholes on the left and he was completely anonymous in a match. Scholes is a game changer. He used to play through the middle, week in, week out, score worldies because that's where he played. And the only way that they got him into the team was to put him on the left, and he did nothing. So that, for me, history is repeating itself. And I know we put pressure on them, and I know most of the fans think that England are going to go out and win 3-0 every time. I'm not that naive. I know that that isn't the case. And I know the group stages are different to the knockout stages. So I do think we'll see a different side when we get through to the knockout stages. I'm hopeful that that is the case. But I'm really confused as to why he is trying to shoehorn these players into places where they just don't play. It's bizarre to me, and I'm confused, because I've always stood by Southgate, and I've stood by the way that he played with the players that he's chosen before. But this, for me, is a complete, like, a bit like, I don't know. I can't excuse it, because I don't understand. No, it's bizarre, and I think we were so awful tonight, like awful. And I'm not disrespecting Denmark; they did play well, but to be fair, we should be winning that game. I think a draw is a good result for us, because for me, I think Denmark should have won it.
Yeah.
And I know the pitch was crap, but again, I just said that that was for both teams. The pitch was crap for both teams, so you can't use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
No. What about you, Josh?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I like to temper it with a little bit of, try to think optimistically. Yeah, I mean, I will just say that. I mean, I don't think it's the optimism, if you can have any, is that we're in the same place as we have been in the last 2 or 3 tournaments. Won the first, drew the second in the draft game.
Yep.
And we've made
it
to
different to me. What about you?
Totally. Yeah.
I can say I can understand why it felt different, but it's mainly because I believe part of the reason why it feels different is we're now coming in is the expectation, because we're now coming into this tournament, and obviously the players, the ability of the players. There's 2 different things. The expectation's gone up, and the ability of the players, in my mind, has increased without really any. There's not really been any diminishing area. Okay, at the back we're probably a bit suspect, but Gay, he's been our best player for the 2 games.
Yeah, by country mile.
So I just, it's if, as we've all agreed, I don't really have much else to add. Pigeonholing players into positions where just I don't see them playing. I'm not saying you drop people like Foden because you can't play him, but I don't understand, with the wealth of our attacking talent, why Gareth Southgate looks at the team, and I suspect this is what he's done. In the last few tournaments, we've always criticised Gareth Southgate for being too defensive. Yeah, we've always said that.
Yeah.
And we always said, well, our excuse partly was, well, our defence is a bit vulnerable. It's our weakest part of our team. And in tournament football, it's important not to concede goals as much as it is to score.
Yeah.
Because at some stage they are knockouts. They're mostly, even in the group stages, you need to win.
Yeah.
So I complete, or at least not lose. So I appreciate that. I think Gareth Southgate has looked at this one with his injuries at the back and gone, shit, we're even worse at the back as we have been in the last 2 tournaments in terms of quality. I need to do even more to protect the back, rather than going, fuck it,
using the attack.
Use the best, some of the best players in the world going forward, and just literally suffocate teams by overwhelming them offensively.
Yeah.
And yes, okay, we might let 2 or 3 in, and that's frustrating, especially if you're, people like John Stones and Walker and that, who never concede any week they play football normally. I'm sure that's frustrating. Less so for Jordan Pickford, but I think it's more just, I just don't see why Southgate can't see that. I understand that some people could turn around and say, well, that's not tournament football. That's not how you win tournaments.
No,
it's a bit like,
and you have
I appreciate that the whole, I do understand the whole, offense wins you games, defense wins you championships, and things like this. That whole saying, I do appreciate that, but it was pretty poor when it was just sloppy. Man. It was just been really sloppy.
You see,
really
this is what
slow.
I'm saying. It's not that you expect them to go and score 10 goals, because nobody does. I mean, some people expect them to go and win 5-0 every time, which is ridiculous. But it's the composure, it's the accuracy, it's the kind of being able to put 2, 3, 4 passes together. Sorry, go on.
Those players look like they've not. They're in 2 minds, like they've been told to do 2 different things and they don't know which one to do. Like their tactics that Gareth's giving them is complete contrast to what they've been told every week in the Premier League by most managers.
That's what it looks like.
And they don't know what to do. Like, there's no way that Harry Kane in the post-match interviews should literally say, and I think he used the words, if something happens, we don't know what we're doing, or something like that. It's words to that effect. Yeah. And I'm just like, that's clearly the manager telling you. And I'm like, they press and play through the press non-stop with their club teams all year, and they can't seem to do it.
Yeah.
What do we think about this?
And just it was just no energy. It's like they've decided, you know what? They've just, I don't understand how they don't. Yeah, there's no urgency at all on or off the ball.
Really weird.
So what do you both think about this? I've got it in front of me now. So this is an actual quote from Gareth's interview with the BBC, referring to Trent. So he said, "It's an experiment. We don't have a natural replacement for Calvin Phillips, but we're trying different things."
Well, why didn't he take Calvin Phillips?
Yeah, I mean,
if he's comparing him to that, why didn't he take Calvin Phillips, for Christ's sake? I mean, that's a ridiculous thing to say, isn't it?
But the thing is, you have players on the bench and players like Foden that have the ability to play in the middle. I know that he's not a Calvin Phillips and it's a different position, but you could easily, if he's desperate, so desperate to have two deep line centre mids, put Bellingham there. Bellingham can do that.
Absolutely.
And bring Foden into the middle.
Correct.
Don't play Trent. I feel sorry for Trent, and I'm not Trent's biggest fan. I don't think he's a particularly good right back, and I know that I know Liverpool fans will be telling me otherwise. He's a good right wing back, I guess. He's
one of the best. He's one of the best pure footballers who plays right back, but he's not a good right back per se.
He's not a good defender, and he also. I think I saw him I think they've brought him into that centre midfield going, he's got the ability to unlock defences with incredible passes. I didn't see, I think I saw one of his kind of like spray passes, and it was over to Saka, and it was a nothing ball, if that makes sense. You could have got there with a couple of passes. It wasn't oh Christ, there's an inside
split it open, did he?
Exactly, yeah. He didn't go between the left back and the centre back and find that gap. And I don't doubt that he's not got that ability. Why are we experimenting at this stage? Should we be going into it at this stage?
Yeah.
What Gareth has admittedly said, and what everybody is led to believe, is that he's going to be gone regardless at the end of this. Why not go for broke? And the biggest thing is, and I joked about it 6 months ago, I've always called him Safegate, and he does not know. What's the fucking interview that he did? The most embarrassing. He's worse than Rishi Sunak when it comes to interviews. He said, "What do you do to let your hair down and have a good time?" And then he say like, "Drink some Ribena or something." I sit in a room and drink Ribena, something like that. Like, he is boring. He fell into this fucking job when England needed.
He's the second most successful England manager that's ever been.
But he's bored the fucking paint off the walls, Ben.
Well, no, that's not true. That's not true.
He has.
That's not true. No, the first two tournaments. I would
agree with Ben. I don't think that's I don't think that's entirely true. But right now,
it's like it's difficult.
Right now, with the wealth of talent we have and the deficiencies we have in certain areas, I don't see why he wouldn't just.
No, I agree.
Defence were fine tonight. I had no problem with the defence. I thought Mark Gahey was unreal.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So Denmark, if you look at it this way, Denmark are a good team, yeah? They had two or three pretty good chances, and the goal they had
was a worldie. Yeah, totally.
Absolute worldie. Now, you can argue Kane gave the ball away sloppy, but that was testament. Everyone gave the ball away sloppy. It was terrible. But, you can't stop that sometimes. That was just a brilliant finish. The argument is you get close to him. Anyway, it's besides the point. If you think about it that way, defensively, and they said several times, even people like Alan Shearer, who's a striker, can see you don't need 3 or 4 at the back when they've only got one up top.
Correct.
All the time. You don't need that. John Stones this year has been famous for stepping into the midfield.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he has to be the one to do that. It could be Kyle Walker, it could be Kieran Trippier, and hopefully if Luke Shaw's fit him, could be him. But just I don't know, but there's all these things that they do at club level, and they just don't seem to do it.
No, it's really bizarre.
I've gone off topic slightly, but it's more. Yeah, I think
it's interesting to hear them. Sorry, go on.
As a snapshot, you said going back to the last couple of tournaments. I've just brought up the results from the World Cup, 2022 World Cup.
Yeah.
So we beat Iran 6-2.
Yeah.
That's, I think, it speaks for itself of who the opponent was. Yeah, we've outscored 6 goals. Fantastic. We drew 0-0 with the USA.
Yeah.
We beat Senegal, Senegal were probably middle-ish level when it comes to the African nation teams. They're not the best, by no means not the worst. And we played, and Wales, we turned over Wales, which is the Welsh of the Welsh.
Yeah.
There's nothing in that. I can't remember that, and it proves my point how I feel watching it, and I feel bored. Sitting back going, I couldn't tell you any of those results. I remember obviously the France one well, but I couldn't tell. None of those stuck in my mind going, God, didn't we just see a turn? Didn't we just see Southgate's, the shackles come off and Southgate let the players express themselves and be the quality players they are? No, what we get is an interview after going, it's an experiment. How many fucking years is he into this job and he's still experimenting?
Well, I think he's been a little bit scuppered, because when we talked about it, a few months back about going into this tournament, we were pretty sure at that point that he would have a certain set of players, and that he would take, and that's been kind of scuppered through injury and players kind of going off and doing and not playing for their club. So look, players like Henderson, Maguire, Phillips, those three for just names out of a hat. He's not had Shaw because he's been injured. There are players that he would now that he's dropped Rashford, Sterling, they were stalwart players, part of his group that have moved forward, who have dropped away, and he's had to put other players in to kind of try and blood them, I suppose. And we've got some really good young talent coming through at the moment. So he's probably got a squad with him now who he hasn't really foreseen taking to a tournament at this point. It's not the 26 players he would have picked 6 months ago. Do you know what I mean? So his long-term plan that we've always said they've been building and building and building, and it's not kind of come to fruition. So he's actually probably run out of ideas, and his long-term sort of plan has never actually come to fruition because he's lost X amount of players, or they've lost form or whatever.
I think that's partly an excuse though, because I mean, just look at today's bench. He brought on Eze, Bowen and Watkins, and then they cut to a shot and you've got Cole Palmer, Anthony Gordon, and then someone else in the shot who couldn't remember, who was also, if I'm honest, I couldn't remember who it was, but someone, it might have been Ivan Toney or someone like that. But I'm just like, and I'm just thinking to myself, you've got 3 levels of players, more than 3 levels of players. Like he hasn't really got an excuse on that level.
No, but you can't play them all, can you? You can't.
No, I appreciate that. And so long we were talking about, we'll play our best players, but you need to play our best players in the best positions. And we were talking about this is where we come back to Foden and blah, blah.
But they've all got to play together. They've all got to play as a team. And we've, as I said, we've had it before. We've had the best players in the country, all in the play, can't play as a team. So just because they're a good player doesn't mean they're going to work well in that position. So, I mean, I really don't understand. I've spoken to so many people. It was my son's sports day today, and I was talking to people all day long about the game, and everyone's going, it's going to be the same team, and everyone says the same thing. He has to play these players here, blah blah blah.
So predictable.
It's but we all know. Of course, we're all experts, and we all have the best idea of how England should set up with this group of players. So my concern is that he is kind of blindsided, or he can't see. He's too close to it that he can't see what is patently obvious to the rest of us. I'm hoping that he does, and I think, I've got to be honest, we've qualified. Okay, we have qualified. We'll probably win the group, but not in a way that anyone wants us to. And I kind of deep down always knew that it would be like this, because the groups are always dodgy. But I want him to go out. I want to see them go out and really want to win on Tuesday. I want them to field a side of players that are hungry and are desperate to win, and go out and give them a right good pasting. Not go out and go, well, we've won the group, we only need a point, let's just play for a draw, make sure we don't get any injuries, and then we'll go. I really want him to sort of put down a message. Well,
I'm hoping he won't, because we won't have done that. We won't have won the group.
Well, we can't
guarantee it at this point, can we? No,
because we can't. Denmark, but
if we draw, if we get a draw with, I think we'll have won the group, won't we? Because,
and we're likely, if we don't finish in the top 2, we're likely to be one of the higher third place finishes with 4 points already.
I mean, we don't want to be a runner-up.
I know, but we want to win the group to avoid Germany.
Near impossible.
We want to win the group,
but not winning it is also not ideal.
we've got pressed for time, unfortunately. But just the last thing I want to say on this then. So I think we're all agreed so far on, I think, because I've just been by the chat, on what we want to see Gareth do.
Yeah.
I think put Foden in the middle, Gordon on the left. If Luke Shaw's fit, he comes in for Trippier, and I think that's what I would do.
And
And I
drop
rest of it, I would
drop
pretty much
Bellingham
keep
back
the
to with
drop
to play
Bellingham
with
to an
Rice.
8 and play
Yeah,
Rice as a 6.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay, I think we'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I think pretty much everyone says that to a degree, plus or minus Luke Shaw, depending on fitness. My thing then is, what do you think he will do?
I think he'll put the same team out.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, because he took Trent off at 56.
That's the only thing I will say.
For me,
taking
I think
Trent
he's
off
admitted
and saying
that
it's an
hasn't
experiment.
worked. Yeah.
Taking him off and saying it was an experiment probably tells me he's going to put Conor Gallagher in there from the start.
I would suggest so.
But why not Foden?
Yeah, I know, but he's fucking blind, mate.
He's safegate, mate. He needs 2 central defensive midfielders. He is so scared. Like, only towards the last 10, 15 minutes of that game did we see Rice trying to win the ball beyond his own half.
Yeah.
He needs Rice winning the ball up higher. He needs Conor Gallagher winning the ball up higher. The worst thing that happened tonight as well, Conor Gallagher came straight on and got fucking booked. He was having a duck out of every tackle he was going in, and he lives on the edge, doesn't he? And he does that's where he plays well.
Well, that might save us from Conor Gallagher, to be honest. That might save
I like Conor Gallagher.
No, but if he gets booked again, he'll get suspended. So what I mean is, he might not start him because he already gets booked.
Got to start him over Trent if he's going to do anything.
Oh,
if
yeah.
He's going to be
I'm actually, to be honest, you know what I would do?
Put Mainu in.
Yeah, I would. If there was anyone in there, put Mainu or Wharton in. Wharton is a 6. He actually plays 6 for Palace.
Yeah.
Like, he actually plays that role. I know he's a young lad. Okay, I appreciate that.
There won't be a huge amount of pressure on Tuesday, so he might put a few different players in and then go. And he might even say to Foden, "Okay, mate, everyone's calling for it. Let's put you through the middle and see what happens." I think he did. I think Foden went into the middle off his own back. I think he got pissed off being out on the left and not being involved. He started to drop deep. He picked the ball up in the centre. He made runs and he went past 2 or 3 players. And Kane had to pop it in for having a go at goal. But why not? He'd run from his own half, taking it past about 3 players, and then pushed a shot. Okay, it went wide, but at least he was doing something. It felt to me like he took the ball by the horns and went, "Do you know what? I'm not in this game. I need to get in this game." And he did what he knows best. And he got a couple of shots off, and he was a bright spark in there. And for me, he needs to play in there. And if he hadn't done enough tonight to prove that, then I feel sorry for the lad, because he's going to be another Paul Scholes or another Frank Lampard who can't play in a team because he's not playing in his preferred position. And I think it's a crying shame, because the lad is bags and bags and bags of talent, as much if not more than Jude Bellingham for me. Jude Bellingham was absent tonight, and I think that's partly to do with the fact that there is so much pressure on that lad from the media and the fans, singing "Hey Jude," and it's all about Jude Bellingham. And we spoke about this before, we worried about him, too much pressure on him too early on, and it wouldn't surprise. He looked like he didn't have any energy tonight, Bellingham. He couldn't be bothered.
None of them did. One thing I will say just quickly before we must finish, I'm sorry for time, is
it's me ranting.
I think they looked like young players. I think they looked like inexperienced,
lost,
unsure of themselves. Exactly. Unsure of themselves, players, unsure of the team, unsure of what they should be doing when they should be doing it. I can't remember how many second balls that they won because they just ducked out of tackles and headers and things like this. I don't know. Anyway, that's what it looked like to me. So
yeah.
Anyway, we've got Slovenia.
Should
be an easy win. No comfort. Yeah.
I hope they go out and put a marker down and say, "This is what we're about. This is it. We've got the points. We've qualified. This is gonna what we're gonna be doing moving forwards, and take some risks."
They need to get the fans off their back. Yeah.
Well, man, sorry.
The question on everybody's lips is not: is Trent going to start in the centre mid? Is Ben going to be coming to watch the football?
On Tuesday, I don't think I will be. Sadly, I've got some friends. I've got some friends down who I'm going out in the afternoon, and it's my birthday. But then the boys, I've got the young kids, and they want to watch the first half with me. So I'll be doing that on my birthday.
We'll try and arrange it if it goes well.
Next round, maybe. When's that? That's on a Sunday. Again, I'm not going to be there because I'm out on that day. I'm just such a social butterfly, you see.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I'd try and avoid it as well, mate. To be honest, after tonight.
Especially I wore my New England shirt and everything. I wore my Foden shirt and everything.
There'll be a lot of groaning. Anyway, lads, we'll leave it there, shall we?
Yeah.
Please remember to stick around for the interviews for our MVF Awards that will be coming on the end of this.
Yeah, they're worth listening to.
Straight finish, straight through, so no pause as such.
There will be tests.
Yes, for anyone. yeah. Okay.
Cheers, lads.
Thanks again,
well,
lads.
I will see you boys tomorrow night for some MVF footy spectacular.
Yeah, love it.
And this time next week, we'll be discussing how we've destroyed Slovenia.
Absolutely, and put a marker down.
Yeah, indeed.
Not.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks, lads. Then.
Cheers, lads.
Love it, boys. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so this is Ben here with Jack and Josh. We are representing, of course, our Lose to Win podcast here at the MVF Awards 2024.
Manchester.
We are in Manchester.
Very warm.
Where are we?
It's not raining.
It's not raining.
Very hot.
For anyone who wants to know who's
very
saying,
hot in Manchester.
it is.
Trust me, it's hot.
So we have the main man here who is doing a special talk tonight, who is Razor Ruddock. Welcome, Razor.
How you doing, lads?
I'm good.
Nice
How are you?
It's very good.
You, mate. Really
Man v Fat.
Man v Fat.
Story of my life.
Is it something that resonates with you?
Yeah, I was on a diet all my life, really. You know, this is how mad, like Rio Ferdinand. This is how mad it is. Rio Ferdinand was my room partner at West Ham. Never put an ounce on. So we went to Marbella, mid-season, hot summer camps. We went there. So I thought, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to eat and drink whatever Rio. So 4 days, I ate and drank what Rio had.
Yeah.
After 4 days, he lost £1, I put £4 on.
Oh, mate.
There we go.
Mate, so everyone is different. Everyone is different.
But you were at a different stage of your career at that point, though, weren't you?
The older you get, obviously the harder it is. But I was on a diet for 30 years, but we had no education.
No, very different.
Dietitians. When I signed for Liverpool in 1993, now Liverpool was the best club side in the world by far in 1993. When I left Tottenham and went to Liverpool in 1993, we didn't have a physiotherapist.
Right, okay.
No physio in 1993.
Wow.
Jesus.
Very different times.
And that's how football has changed. But no dietitians, no education.
So how have you found it later on in life? Because I know you've had...
Well, I struggled and, I've done Harry's Hero TV show.
Yeah. Which we love, by the way. It was amazing.
I started training. I felt giddy and, I was feeling faint. So they sent me to rush for a specialist heart surgeon. And my heartbeat was 140 beats a minute.
Resting?
Which is...
That's high.
Marathon pace.
Yeah.
But that's how I thought. Let's sat down resting. So in the end, that stopped me heart, restart me heart, got a pacemaker, and I ended up having a gastric sleeve.
Right.
So I've lost 10 stone gastric sleeve. But there's, people on Twitter and social, people say, yeah, but you cheated. I cheated death.
Yeah, man. Totally. Yeah, totally. So how much did you lose from having
10 stone.
10 stone. Shit.
10 stone.
And how
but he gave me two. He said, the way I'm going, so I was mad. I was up mentally. I went right, and I had mad, sad, bad, glad disease. Mad, sad, bad, and glad. So I was mad, had a drink. Sad, have a drink. Bad, have a drink. Mad, sad, bad, and glad. So every emotion I had, drink and food.
Of course.
So
but I used to look at myself. I thought it was all right.
You're close to fighting weight again then. You're going to join a Man v Fat Club?
No, I'm too slim now.
We're down in Bournemouth, mate. Harry will manage it. You come and play for us.
Listen, I've had Harry in 2 years. I ain't having him telling me off ever again.
We've heard stories.
I was getting weighed one day. I was getting weighed one day. So we got weighed. I had to be 14.6. So I'm getting weighed one day. So I was all at the back of the queue to weigh on a Tuesday. I was praying for like a leggy strike, so the scales
go wrong. Yeah.
So Harry's come in, so I'm like 10 lads in front of me. So Harry's come in and said, "How much you weigh, Race?" I went 14.6. Bang on, Gaffer, bang on. When I got weighed 10 minutes later, I was 15 stone. Harry went to me, "Razor, what have you ate from there to there?" Yeah, but no, I've always struggled with weight. But I think what a great idea.
Yeah.
So I wish I should have. What did they say about this idea? You lose weight when you. Why didn't I think of it?
Yeah,
mate.
I think all of us think the same thing. Yeah, it's a great idea, and it brings a lot of us together. Especially with men's mental health as well.
Yep.
I think that is.
But that's why I've lost weight. That mentally, I'm a different person now.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? What I've changed my life. I would never, ever, ever let my mates down. Always let my family down. Because I've lost weight now. Because I'm mentally. I nearly swore then. Fuck me, mates. Fuck me, mates. They didn't care about me. So I'll never let my family down. Just let my mates down. It's a simple twist like that saved my life.
Yeah.
But everyone out there, Man being fat, I mean, it is great. It is great seeing fat lads play football.
It is quite amusing at times.
You know what I mean? Because you fuckers used to laugh at me playing, now I'm laughing at you.
The best thing that we always say as well is in our heads, so we're writing checks our body can't cash. So we think we're amazing. What happens is somebody records it and we go, don't show me that again. Nobody record it again. It's a lot quicker on the pitch than it is on video.
What we say, people, fat lads out there, in life, nothing lasts forever, okay? Nothing lasts forever.
Correct.
And that includes your mindset and your troubles and your weight. If you get your head on, you lose weight.
Fair play, mate. Yeah. Wise words from the main man, Ray's Rudder.
But being fair, though, when you are fat, you eat everything you want. It is nice, isn't it?
I'd just like to end with one little question. How was your career at Queen's Park Rangers? Did you enjoy your time there?
6 games. I was left Liverpool. I was going to West Ham, so I left Liverpool. Weren't playing.
You came on loan to QPR, right?
QPR. 6 games. Drew 6 games. We put Man City down. We stayed up.
And I love you for it, mate.
Top man.
Thank you so much for your time, mate.
Have a great night. Thanks for your time,
nice
mate.
Appreciate
it.
Fat cunts.
Love it.
Hey, so it's Ben, Josh and Jack here again. We're at the Man v Fat Awards. Once again, we've got another very special guest with us here. We have Andrew from The Traitors, which me and Jack are particularly quite excited about. Andrew, how are you, mate? Good?
Yeah, fantastic. It's an amazing event. I'm so glad I come here, to be honest. I'll be honest, before I was invited, I'd never heard of it, but when I looked into it, it's incredible. The work the guys do is absolutely amazing, and it's really a special thing you've got going. It's amazing.
It's a massive thing for us. Yeah. We're all part of the programme, and some of us have lost a huge amount of weight through it. And we know that you're a huge advocate of men's mental health, and you're talking about that tonight. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you're going to talk about?
It's a bit of everything, really. I cram in my talking. My talk is normally 40 minutes, but he's told me I got 15. So I think I'm very relatable. I'm just a normal guy from Wales. I suppose I'm relatable to thousands of people in this country. My upbringing was good. We just didn't talk about any feelings or emotions. Even to this day, I've never seen my family show any emotions or feelings towards each other. So after my accident 24 years ago, I bottled everything up. I only spoke to my mother and father about the accident the first time last year, 24 years later. So I bottled it up, wore a mask for 24 years, basically.
Wow.
Got up for a corporate job. Behind closed doors, I was breaking. Do you mean I lost my identity as a rugby boy? I wanted to play rugby for Wales, and I don't know if I was really good at it, but that dream got taken off me, so I didn't think my dad was proud of me. Just losing my identity, self-worth, communication. So I try and cover off quite a lot of things in my talk, which I guarantee at least every single person in this room will relate to one bit of my talk. Like grieving's a huge thing, for example. And when I say the word grieving, normally people think you've got to die. You physically haven't got to die to grieve, because I didn't know until 15 years after my accident, I had counselling, and she said, you're grieving after the first session. I said, what do you mean grieving? I said, that's when you die. She said, on the night of the accident, you did die. So all I've heard of you so far is I used to play rugby, I used to do this, I used to do that. You're grieving your whole life. And she goes, people grieve all stages of life. She said, you haven't got to physically die. So people, when they lose their job, they grieve. Sports, when they give up their sports, grieving for their whole life. And she said, people, even when they give birth to children, they grieve because they can't go out as much, haven't got much freedom. She said, grieving's a huge thing. When nobody, it's a taboo stuff, it's not a nice word, is it grieving? She said, it's death, But so I was grieving for 15 odd years of my life, my whole life. So I talk about lots of different things, really. Now you want to just inspire people, I was told I was dead 24 years ago. I was died on the side of the road, and then, here I am. So I'm not a ghost. So so I just want to show people you can have mental health, you can struggle with mental health or trauma in life, look at different ways with scarring. You can still turn your life around and achieve great things in life and still believe in yourself. So I want to motivate people, really.
Bless you. That's fantastic to hear. And how are you finding life post-Traitors?
It's great. It's amazing. The only reason I went on the show is to get a platform to talk about mental health. I wanted to talk about mental health before the show, but I had a tiny little audience. So I went on there. They approached me, actually, and I went on there and I said, I'll go on there. And the only reason I went on there is so I get a huge platform now to talk about, I want to change the world. I want to inspire so many people. So when I do eventually die in my deathbed, I can close my eyes thinking I'm in a difference to this planet. Right. And that's what I've done in my life. Up until then, I'd been pissed at the rugby club every weekend. I wouldn't know what I would have done in my life. I'd have been naked on the pool table this time of night on a Saturday. So
still time. I
wouldn't have been a role model to the kids back then, but now I'm changing lives and helping inspire so many people. And my heart and my soul feel full what I'm doing now. I get messages on a daily basis of people saying I'm changing their lives. A woman messaged me this morning and said she's struggling with her cancer treatment, her chemotherapy treatment. What keeps her going is my videos and motivation. I get that every single day of people, and I'm helping people so much. And I'm a normal guy. I'm not a celebrity or nothing. I'm just a normal bloke. If I can do it, anybody can do it, really. So just want to show people, be vulnerable and just be yourself, I suppose. Be true to yourself.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. And thank you so much for joining us here tonight. It'll mean a lot to a lot of people. So thanks, guys, from us. Best of luck.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Nice to see you. See you later.
Take care, buddy. Thank you. Oh, I might just throw in, actually, my wife is a huge fan. Yeah. So can you just say hello to Emma?
Yeah, come on. Hi Emma, it's Andrew from The Traitors. Hope you've been a faithful and never been a traitor. Take care.
Love you, mate. Cheers, buddy. Take care. Right, so thankfully now we're at post awards. We're through the end of the evening. They're kicking us out of the building, but we do have the main man himself, who you've heard from before, Mr. Richard Crick. Dude, how did it go? Was he good?
I'm delighted. I mean, you boys were here. What did you think? It was all about you guys. So, did you have a good time?
Absolutely.
Loved it.
Razor was top quality, wasn't he?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Very amusing. Fair play to Stu for dealing with it for the whole evening.
Yeah, Stu was great. I mean, hey, Stu's day job is with us. For him to step up there and do what he did tonight, keep us. I mean, we were on time. We were concise. Nothing, as far as we were concerned, went wrong. I think everybody had a good night, and that was what it was all about. And yeah, Stu and Razor smashed it. Andrew was brilliant as well.
Brilliant.
Really fascinating to hear from. Did you guys heard Andrew's story before? Did you know about him?
Didn't know the story. We knew about him, both myself and Jack are massive Traitors fans.
Yeah,
so we knew about him. So we nabbed him before and had a quick interview and got his little insight into his life. But amazing story. It would have been nice to hear a bit more from him, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
I know he had to speed through it because he only had a certain amount of time.
Well, do you know what? He normally does that talk in 45
that's
minutes,
what he said.
and we had to condense him down to 15, 20 minutes, which, ironically, we finished a few minutes early, frustratedly, but... I mean, the difficulty is, right, is we're trying to do something for everybody, and we wanted to make sure that all the awards got through in good time as well. But yeah, I mean, we'd love to have him back as well. Obviously, Man V Fat starting rugby very soon. Massive rugby fan. So we've had a chat already, and yeah, he's already really keen to be involved in that, which will be class as well.
Happy days. So you using this venue? Do you use this venue every year?
No, so this is the second time we've done it.
Okay.
We haven't decided what we're doing next year. We might look elsewhere.
Something a bit closer to the south.
Well,
FC Bournemouth might do it.
Well, same as we do with the Man V Fat award. The Man V Fat 11s and the Man V Fat Amazing Losers game. We want to make sure that
spread it
out a bit. Make sure that everybody goes. The guys at the National Football Museum are incredible. I mean, they're so supportive with this. They're planning. They're so used to doing it. Now we've been here for the second year. We felt a lot more comfortable with the organising and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, we may be back here. We may be further down south. We'll just have to wait and see.
One thing we noticed, it was quite a limited amount of teams that we kept seeing on the board. How can we introduce and get more people nominating their teams, nominating each other?
And this is massive.
See you soon, mate. Thanks for having me.
Because the big thing I would say about getting nominated for the awards is encourage your club mates to do it. You know, if Man V Fat coaches are listening to this, spread the word, get them to do it. The panel look at every single nomination that's put in, but we can only go on what those nominations look like. Of course. If you say, I want this guy to win because he's great, well, that's lovely, and I'm sure he is great, but it doesn't tell us that much about the nominee. Whereas if you guys are actually, tell us everything that you know about your teammates, your club mates, which is how incredibly fantastic they are, what their journey looks like, how they've supported you, what impact it's had on your journey, that's how we can actually pick out those guys. And I think the guys that were nominated tonight, all very, very worthy nominees, all very, very worthy nominations. But absolutely, we'd love to see more nominations coming in from more clubs, because it is the same. Everybody has the same opportunity, everybody gets the same comms, everybody is encouraged to do so, but we hear from some and not everybody, and that's as frustrating, I think, for other people in the community as it is for us. We want to see that board really diverse, and there was a lot of teams and clubs tonight that were represented that were not nominated last year, so that was really good to see. So that's what I'd say, is absolutely spread the word and get those guys involved.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next year.
Enjoy a big night in Manchester.
I think Josh is going now. He's got off back down to London. But I know you're a busy man. You've got to go. So thanks again, Richard.
Cheers.
Talk to you soon.
Good to see you, gents.
Cheers, pal. Thanks so much.
Take care, mate. See you soon. Cheers. So we've got the main man, Stu. He's here, original setup, regional manager for Bournemouth when we first set up 3 years ago. Not been down for a while since there was a bit of Aggie down there. He got quite that lad down.
We scared him off, all the southern soft.
Horrible bastards.
Take on a different region, guys.
But mate, it's really good to see you, and well done for tonight.
Thank you.
How did it go, you and Razor? How was it?
Razor's a character. It was trying to just rein him in. I mean, the thing is, we booked him, right, so we know what we were going to get.
Absolutely.
So my job was to try and just keep things a little bit slightly on track, but there's probably 8 glasses of wine that he had probably didn't help. But what a guy! But you know what? A really good guy. Really nice.
Fantastic, and totally behind it. I mean, we had a quick interview with him before the awards, before he was well oiled, but he was totally behind it, and he totally understood the reason of it, and that was really nice to hear actually from a pro who's obviously played the game for a long time and to a massively high level. So what other sort of characters have you got lined up for future?
So we had Razor this year. We had
Ollie last year, didn't you?
Big Tom Davis.
We had Tom Davis last year, who was brilliant, but then went and did like Wonka. With Timothy Chalamet, so I don't think we'll get him again.
He's had a good weight loss journey as well,
yeah,
isn't he? Yeah,
when he came, the first time we seen him when he came in, I'd not seen him for a while. Obviously, like just watching him on telly, and I was like, wow, like, he'd had a real good journey, and he was quite open and honest about it as well. So he was brilliant. So I don't know whether I'll be doing it next year. If I can get out of it, I might get out of it. Yeah.
So comfortable up there,
let me see who the guest is first.
So do you go for somebody that has that somebody that we can all resonate with and kind of?
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
I don't want to say like we go for geezers, but like Tom Davis is a bit of a geezer, Ray's a bit of a geezer. Like we go to down to earth guys and if they've got their own kind of health journeys or mental health kind of story as well, I think that always helps. Andrew Jenkins was amazing as well.
Brilliant.
He's got a really good mental health journey and a self-discovery journey as well, which was excellent.
We know now that Gazza lives down in Bournemouth way, so if you ever want to do the awards down Bournemouth way, we've got a couple down there.
Your eyes on that one.
Jamie and Harry are down there, and
Harry would do it, but you want to pack it, wouldn't you?
Harry, brown envelope.
Out of the car window.
I don't know about Gazza, to be fair. I reckon Razor's probably was a handful. I think Gazza might be a bit too much for me to handle.
It's the language barriers, the accent barriers. We can barely understand Stu, let alone.
Well, that's it, yeah. Somebody from, if we have it in Bournemouth, somebody from the South Coast, so you guys can at least, don't need a translation, we'll probably be out more.
We'd quite like not to travel so far as well. Somewhere like Dean Court would be perfect.
Gazza can do it, but we've got to bring his fishing rods and his cans of lager.
Absolutely.
Mate, thank you so much for tonight. We really, really enjoyed it. And thank you for the nomination. Everyone out there who nominated us, really, really proud. We've got our little trophies. So thank you for hosting. And
no problem. Like, if you want me on any time, guys, give me a shout.
We've not actually had you on, have we?
Absolutely,
yeah,
mate.
I can tell you about the kind of behind the scenes birth of your club and
that's
a story for some of us OGs.
I can probably lift the curtain a little bit.
Oh mate, yeah, that'd be awesome. That would actually.
I remember just very quickly. I remember Stu turning up the first time we come down to try and work out what was going wrong. And he shouted across the pitch to me, "Where are your shin pads?" He found out what my name was from somebody. He's like, "Who's that?" "Jack, where are your shin pads?" I was like, "I've never played in shin pads, mate." "What do you mean shin pads? I never played them." And that was kind of an icebreaker, wasn't it, Stu?
Bournemouth was a really interesting one, and I found myself kind of driving from Manchester on a Friday night to go and cover 3 or 4 sessions in Bournemouth because I was like, I cannot let this club die because we couldn't find a coach. So yeah, but if you want me on, I can give you a little bit of an insight.
Fascinating. Little cliffhanger from him. He's a pro.
Yeah.
Bless you, mate. It's been a pleasure, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Cheers, Stu.
Pleasure, mate.
Amazing.
Nice to see you,
Thank
mate.
you, mate.
I love the podcast, by the way.
Really appreciate it.
I love the fact that you give Cricket a proper grilling as well.
Yeah,
I was like, no, I respect that. I mean, he turned the corporate answers on pretty good, but
he's very,
he's a pro at what he does. But yeah, you probably get a little bit rawness from me on this. But
good, that's what we want. That's what we love. Cheers, buddy.
Excellent. Thanks, mate.
So we're still here at MVF Awards 2024. It's myself and Josh. Jack's off collecting our little nomination award, which is lovely. But we do have an award, a double award winner here with us. Hopefully he's going to come and see us on the pod in person at some point. But I can welcome Damon and his beautiful wife, Kerry.
We'll take that.
Who were both up for awards, but sadly Kerry didn't win hers, but it's a fantastic achievement on the nomination. Fantastic. Similar to us, we didn't win, but we were nominated, and we were very pleased about that. Damon, double award winner, mate.
Yeah.
Any words? Want to tell us what you won and why?
So I won the regional coach award, and then I won the national coach award.
National coach award.
Congratulations.
Yeah, unbelievable achievement, mate. Brilliant. Fantastic. So how are you feeling about it?
Surreal. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's happened. I just need to go lay down, I think. MVF means a lot to me, so to have this means the world.
So what would you put it down to, or what do you think made you clinch it?
My
assistant.
My players. They make me a better person. Even when I have like a difficult time, as soon as they need me, I just change and go into like a different mode. I just love them.
Oh, bless you.
I'm a bit biased, obviously, because I've Maidstone, but I just love them all. Yeah.
Of course, man. Have you been through the process yourself?
Yeah. So I was a player at Stroud in 2018. I lost 6 stone. Donated a kidney to my dad.
What? Okay, that's worth an award in itself, I would say.
And then I got the chance to be a player at Maidstone, and then after about 6 weeks, I think, the coaching position became available, and I haven't looked back since. It's been over 2 years. Yeah, I just...
Wow, that's fantastic. Amazing.
I can't stick anything out. I've never stuck at a job, never stuck at a partner, never.
Until now.
Yeah. But Man v Fat, it's just, I can't see a day that I don't have it. I just love it so much.
Yeah. Bless you, man. Are you still playing or not? Are you now
I have a little kickabout with the guys on a different night, but yeah, I'm more interested in just supporting them. It's just.
Well, we're hopefully going to get you on for a full episode to hear a bit more about it.
Yes.
But for now, mate, absolutely huge congratulations to you. Well deserved. Inspirational story, man. I look forward to hearing more about it.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Right, I'm here with the Oval boys that have just won the community. Well, you tell me, Kev, what have you just won?
Community Club of the Year, the most prestigious one, I think.
Absolutely, mate.
Yep.
So
a lot of hard work.
So what's gone into this for you boys?
This was 3-4 months of car boot sales, cake morning. Yeah, and then we finished off with a 26-mile hike across the coast of
Somerset.
Minehead to Bridgewater.
We did Bridgewater to Minehead.
On the hottest day of the year.
Wow.
We literally, I did myself in with dehydration.
27 degrees.
Yeah.
No wind.
Incredible.
Points, it was beautiful.
And how much money did you raise?
£6,250 Diabetes UK.
Incredible, boys. So, an amazing work. What we'll do is we'll piss them off and make a bit of noise. So, go on then, let's go.
Yeah!